Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 Cents.
What up, Dow?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Friday, has had a good week, and that you have a good weekend ahead of you. I think I covered all the bases there. Satsu, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Had a fairly long day and tried to get a lot of stuff done, but I'm a little burnt out from this past week.
All the holidaying and all the familying.
Yeah, 2 days on an air mattress at my mom's house, listening to people yell for hours, like literal hours at a time. That shit took a lot more out of me than I thought. I had fun, don't get me wrong, but man, that is not my kind of environment. So I got home and I was able to kind of crash and try to get back in, but that's all I've been doing is just kind of crashing. So I'm like, wasn't a bad day. I just feel like crap.
Need to take some recuperation time this weekend.
Yeah, I'll try to.
And Monkey, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Get to spend some time with the grandchildren, and hey, look, it just told me you went live.
I went live. Oh my
You
god!
just went live apparently.
Oh boy!
But yeah, I got to spend time with the grandkids, so I'm a happy monkey. How you doing, Scribbles?
I'm doing all right. Work was very busy, but nothing. I mean, it was just consistent. Nothing catastrophic or anything. It was just a very busy day, and then come home and I surprised the hell out of myself. I found a video to work on.
Nice.
Which hasn't happened, or at least I haven't been inspired to do so in far too long. But I'll talk about that at YouTube time. Other than that, just talked to my dad before the stream. He's feeling a lot better. I'm going to try to introduce him to the restoration genre of videos on YouTube because he likes puttering around in his workshop and everything. And I think he'd like watching like old tools get sandblasted clean and then repainted. I just have a feeling he'd like that kind of thing. You ever see those kind of videos?
I have not, but I can see the appeal of them.
There's something oddly calming about it. It's almost like those little videos where it's like things that are satisfying to watch happen, like people, like you watch somebody painting a wall and you can see them get that last corner and it's like your little internal OCDs taken care of. Yeah, watching these guys take apart these old rusty things and then clean it all up and then put it all back together and then make it look like brand new. Something very, very calming and therapeutic about that, especially the guys that don't talk during it. Most of them don't. They just sort of like let the actions speak louder than words and all that. The guys that give commentary, it depends on the thing. Anyway, I might be becoming a snob. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Not that I'm going to start doing videos like that because I couldn't fix a light bulb in the wall if my life depended on it. Well, I could. At least that part. Anyway, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And please share our stuff. Share it far, wide, and sideways. Only today, for some reason, I guess YouTube flipped a switch. I'm not just getting 2 rows of recommendations on my homepage telling me that there's monkey game streams I could watch. I actually got like rows and rows of different things that actually pertain to my interests. I don't know if they fixed something or somehow I hit a switch or something, but it was...
YouTube, what are you doing? Yeah,
but you know what? None of those things they posted there had anything to do with Monkey or Satsu or even my own stuff. There was a time where I got recommended my own stuff, but not them anymore. So guys, please, if you like what you see from us or any other content creator, the best thing you can do to help out that content creator is to share their stuff with other people. Because, like I said, YouTube is doing a poor job of it these days. All that being said, anything else to mention before we get into the schnews?
Nothing comes to mind.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll just mention that The Hunt for Red October is the greatest movie ever made.
Alrighty.
If you couldn't tell by tonight's theme, I'm honoring The Hunt for Red October. It's the greatest movie ever made. But with that, let's get into the schnuzz. Hey, Monkey, would you like to know what Chuck Schumer said in 1999 about impeachment?
Sure.
Okay.
I bet it doesn't line up with what he's saying now.
I don't know, because I don't know what he's saying now versus what he said back then. Tailed Features here. Fucking me. Hey, Tailed, are you like awake, or are you just dropping in for a second? Because if you're awake and you got nothing else to do, you know, you could come on and talk to us about Chuck Schumer and impeachment. I know that sounds like an attractive idea, but I just thought I'd ask. You let me know. Motto Winter says The Hunt for Red October is a B movie.
What?
And by B, of course, Mata means brilliant. So yes, Mata, I agree. The Hunt for Red October is a B movie.
Look, I don't share your enthusiasm for the movie, but a B movie, come on.
Yeah, let's
That's just silly.
Let's be honest. That was a top tier John McTiernan movie. That was the guy who directed Die Hard, getting his second bite at the apple. Okay, and he wanted to do a Tom Clancy novel. He did a really good job. That wasn't a B movie. That was a high budget. What do you know? What do you know, Mata? Anyway.
That's somebody just fucking with you.
You think?
I think.
Okay. Let's see. So Schumer said in 1999 that the Senate wasn't like a jury box and was, quote, susceptible to the whims of politics, unquote.
Well, that's true.
Chuck, you mean politicians were susceptible to the whims of politics? Let's see. Tailed Feature says, I'll be awake for a little while. Not sure your offer is exactly enticing. Well, it's only one article of many, and there will be other things to talk about. I just thought, you know. Anyway, how about I send you the link on the off chance that you decide you might want to join. Just because I don't get to talk to Tail that often, so the chances that I have to, it's nice.
Scribe wants to talk to Tail.
I wouldn't talk to Tail. I would do something else to Tail. Tailed Features, a different subject altogether. You're trying to set me up for something, Monkey, and I don't appreciate it.
I feel like that's not true.
Yeah, well, anyway. Okay, back to good old Chucky boy. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer has blasted his Republican counterpart. I always love when they use that language. Has blasted his Republican counterpart Mitch McConnell in recent days after he described himself as, quote, not an impartial juror, unquote, ahead of President Donald Trump's Senate impeachment trial. But Schumer himself repeatedly expressed similar sentiments in the late 1990s when senators weighed the removal of President Bill Clinton. Schumer's past comments are the latest example of how lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are having to confront their prior positions on impeachment that appear to conflict with their present-day statements. Appear? Okay. In recent days, Schumer has slammed McConnell. So Schumer has both blasted and slammed McConnell.
He sounds violent.
That's one way to put it, I suppose. Ahead of Trump's trial, saying... Okay, they spelled saying without the Y. Just sighing. Saying he was utterly amazed by McConnell describing himself as not impartial. Quote, let the American people hear it loud and clear. The Republican leader said proudly, I'm not an impartial juror. I'm not impartial about this at all. That is an astonishing admission of partisanship, Schumer said in a floor speech.
No, it's not.
That's so funny, man. They're just like, we hide it, but he actually said it.
I know. How damn his honesty. Transparency's for suckers. But in several appearances on television in 1998 and 1999, reviewed by CNN's K-File, Schumer noted that senators had previously formed opinions heading into the trial and that the Senate was, quote, not like a jury box, unquote. Schumer was elected to the Senate in 1998 after saying during his campaign that a vote for him would be a vote to not impeach Clinton. Let's just let that hang in the air for a second. Schumer was elected to the Senate in 1998 after saying during his campaign that a vote for him would be a vote to not impeach Clinton.
Mm-hmm. But those damn partisan Republicans.
Now, here's the thing that I'm most amazed by in reading this story. This is CNN's top story.
Wow.
I'm not, and like I say, I'm always like talking about how I hope we get back to a point where there's some kind of not entire neutrality, but some kind of objectivity in our news media. And this is, I think, the first time that I've looked at CNN, given the pedigree with which we've witnessed over the last couple of years, and thought, good for you that you're actually, looking at something other than the horrible thing that Trump did or the horrible thing that Mitch McConnell did. That's not to say that Trump and or Mitch McConnell have not done or said horrible or hypocritical things, but to actually, hey, let's talk about Schumer for a second. I was like, really? Wow. Okay, CNN. Somebody in the editorial office must have given Chris Cillizza a day off. Let's see. What else do we have here? Speaking on CNN's Larry King Live in January 1999, Schumer said the trial in the Senate was not like a jury box. Quote, "We have a pre-opinion," Schumer said, citing himself and two newly elected Republican senators who had voted on impeachment in 1998 as members of the House of Representatives who said they would vote in the Senate. Quote, "This is not a criminal trial, but this is something that the founding fathers decided to put in a body that was susceptible to the whims of politics. So therefore, anybody taking an oath tomorrow can have a pre-opinion. It's not like a jury box," King asked. Oh, sorry. This is a question that Larry King was asking. You guys didn't specify that. "So therefore, anybody taking an oath tomorrow can have a pre-opinion. It's not a jury box," King asked Schumer. Quote, "Many do," Schumer responded. Quote, "and then they change. In fact, it's also not like a jury box in the sense that people will call us and lobby us. You don't have jurors called and lobbied and things like that. I mean, it's quite different than a jury, and we're also the judge."
It's true.
Yeah. And Chuck, if only you would be honest about it today, like you were back then, because it is a political process, not a legal process. And anybody who thinks elsewise is fooling themselves or trying to fool everybody else. Gosh, they should just they should just replace Chuck Schumer's comments today with the ones he made back then every time that he comes up in a soundbite.
Oh, they never do that. Just
mute his current audio and play his old audio. And do the same for the Republicans on the flip side. If they ever say elsewise, I would just love if every time that they had some current quote, they would then contrast that with a clip of them in a completely similar situation, but on the opposite side of the aisle in the past, because you can do that now. It's a lot easier to find that stuff. And certainly CNN has the archives for it. And then confront them with that. Like say, "Hey, Chuck Schumer, what do you think about the impeachment? Blah, blah, blah. Well, let's listen to something you said a couple of years back and then play that. Now, what do you have to say about that?" Do you think they'd actually do that? They don't.
No.
It doesn't sound like live. Like do it live, I mean. That'd be great. But anyway. So there's that. I mean, and again, surprise, surprise, a politician is being a hypocrite. But all the same, it's just, like I say, rare to see CNN say something targeted against someone who isn't a Republican.
Yeah, to call it out.
Yeah.
And I've seen them call it out on the other side, which, again, rightfully so. These assholes set themselves up for it by playing this politically.
Yeah.
While the founders may have set it up so it can be a political process, it wasn't their intent for it to be as partisan as it is right now.
Right.
It's just gotten damn silly.
Let's see. A short article in the sense that there's not much to say, but Don Imus, radio shock jock, dies at 79.
I was able to break that news on my show earlier.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll just stop because you've already done it. You want a cookie or something?
Yes, I do. I want a cookie. I earned a cookie for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a cookie here for you. It's a mint and chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's the only cookie you're going to get.
I said a cookie, not the devil's balls.
The devil's balls.
The devil's balls.
Like minty chocolate? That's a shock.
Yes.
Okay, so Dr. Pepper is battery acid and mint and chocolate chip is the devil's balls.
Yep.
Actually, Dr. Pepper is barbecue water.
How am I still alive?
I don't know, because you made a pact with the devil by eating his balls.
Okay, you drink Pepsi. There's
Diet
no
Pepsi, thank you.
Well, same difference. There's no forgiveness for that. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. So Don Imus died. Let's see. Former radio shock jock and media personality Don Imus died Friday morning at 79. His family announced. Imus died at Baylor Scott and White Medical Center in College Station, Texas. The irreverent broadcaster had been hospitalized on Christmas Eve, and the family did not mention the cause of death. I'm guessing old age, maybe. The radio show host was diagnosed in 2009 with stage 2 prostate cancer. Well, got past that for several years. Imus was the host of Imus in the Morning, a daily radio morning show that became nationally syndicated. Known for his controversial and provocative opinions, Imus first appeared on radio in 1968 before joining WNBC in 1971. Imus sparked thank you, Sanguine. Anyone cheering about his death because of the nappy-headed hose bit? You know, it wasn't until I saw that he died that I even remembered that happened. Because I remember that happened. He was talking about a basketball game, I think, or something. And then he had to, apologize on... who was it that came to his radio station with, Jesse Jackson or something?
I can't remember. He actually got fired over it.
That's right. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but yeah, he was talking about a female basketball team. Yeah,
Imus sparked a public outcry with a racist comment in April 2007 about the Rutgers University women's basketball team. The controversy eventually led to the cancellation of the show by CBS Radio. He later apologized. Players on the team said they were deeply hurt by the remark, and Imus was widely criticized by civil rights groups and others. Imus retired from his radio show in March of 2018. Quote, Don continued to share his candid opinions about elected officials in both parties up until the end, his family said. We're doing that right. It doesn't take a lot of effort, just to tell you. It's, you get paid for it. That's great. But hey, yeah. So, he was kind of the Howard Stern before there was a Howard Stern, sort of. But, so there you go. Let's see. Survived by his wife and 6 children. That's a lot of kids, probably a lot of grandkids too. Anyway, who else do we have here? Well, let's see. I'll give you guys a choice. Do you want Horrible Mother or Sharon Osbourne? And I swear these are 2 different articles.
I was going to say, aren't those the same thing? I'm pretty sure those are the same.
Now. Which do you want?
I'm leaning towards Horrible Mother, actually.
All right. This is a Horrible Mother. And I don't think that she got nearly the justice that she deserved, but I'll let you guys be the judge. A mother was sentenced to... Well, here you go. I'll leave out the number of years. I'll just say what the crime is, and you tell me what she should have gotten, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A mother was sentenced to X years in prison for injecting feces into her son's IV during cancer treatment.
Is this one of these people that's on Jilly Juice?
At least Munchausen by proxy. But anyway, so yeah, she injected feces into her son's IV during cancer treatment. Satsu, how many years do you think this crime should get?
She got 3.
Okay, Satsu thinks 3. Monkey?
How many should it get? I would say 15 at least.
Okay. Well, I guess that's 2 different questions. Satsu, how many years should she get?
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking.
No, we'll go for both. We'll go for. So you think she got 3, but what should she have gotten?
I'd say at least 5.
At least 5. Okay. So Monkey, what do you think she got?
And it's a year.
Okay. Monkey says a year. Satsu says 3. Monkey says she should get 15. Satsu says she should get at least 5. I'm agreeing with Monkey on the should, 15 at least. But she was sentenced to 7 years in prison for injecting feces into her son's IV during cancer treatment. An Indiana mother accused of injecting fecal matter into her 15-year-old son's IV bag has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. Tiffany Alberts is set to serve 5 years of probation following her prison sentence, so it's kind of 12 years, sort of. said Michael Leffler, a spokesman with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Alberts was convicted of 6 counts of aggravated battery and 1 count of neglect in a trial in September 2019. Wait, 6 counts of aggravated battery only gets you 7 years?
7 years.
They must be doing that concurrently because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Alberts was found not guilty of attempted murder. Really? Okay. The Wolcott, Indiana mother was arrested and charged in 2016 after she used a syringe to inject feces into her son's IV while he was undergoing cancer treatments at Riley Hospital for Children in Indianapolis. She unknowingly placed him, quote, in a situation. Wait, I said unknowingly. That was my mistake. She knowingly placed him, quote, in a situation that endangered the dependent's life or health, Marion County Superior Court document said. Yeah, that's almost like attempted murder, you'd think.
Yeah.
Albert said her actions were meant to get her son moved from intensive care to another Riley unit where she believed, quote, the treatment was better, unquote.
What?
I'll read that again. Alberts, that's the mother, said her actions were meant to get her son moved from the intensive care unit to another Riley unit where she believed, quote, the treatment was better, unquote.
She was trying to get him moved from the cancer center. All right.
Her son had been receiving treatment for leukemia since early August 2016 at the hospital, a Marion County police affidavit said. Her son was released and returned to the hospital a few days later in early September 2016 with a fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. I wonder if that might have been a result of mom doing something to the kid. Blood tests of the boy showed organisms that are normally found in feces caused a bacterial infection and sepsis, which an extensive medical evaluation could not explain. Oh, well, I think we have our explanation.
I think we know.
Yeah, and how she did not get convicted of attempted murder for multiple attempts at poisoning her son.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
It might have been because she wasn't trying to murder him.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying there.
I'm pretty sure that's the technicality they went on. It's like, yeah, well, she wasn't trying to kill him.
I don't see how you couldn't know that putting fecal matter into a cancer patient's IV bag would not put their life under absolute threat.
Well, even with that, I mean, when you do something stupid, even if you don't mean to try to murder somebody, you can get hit with at least a manslaughter charge.
Sure.
Yeah, they die, of course.
Manslaughter, sure. Okay. But yeah, Munchausen by proxy all over the place, even though, surprisingly enough, that is not mentioned anywhere in this article. Usually when it comes down to things like this, you think Munchausen by proxy, especially if it's like she kept bringing her kid in sick after she made him sick. So I guess the kid having leukemia just wasn't enough for her.
Hey, she was trying to get him to a better ward.
Yeah, better ward. 6 feet under. Anyway, let's move on to something less horrific, I guess. Because this is how exciting the news day has been today, guys. That I have an article about Sharon Osbourne. If you don't know who Sharon Osbourne is, well, that's because she's not that important next to her husband, who is the Prince of Darkness. Sharon Osbourne says she forced an assistant to enter a burning house to retrieve artwork and then fired him. No pun intended, but I'll take it. Sharon Osbourne has a shocking confession. The co-host of CBS's The Talk, she's on a show? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Appeared on the BBC hit show Would I Lie to You Christmas special and made a wicked claim. The panel show features celebrity guests who tell some true and some not so true tales to the fellow guests who have to decide whether the guest is telling the truth. This is a very, very old game show concept. Wasn't it like To Tell the Truth? Wasn't that like an old black and white panel show back in the 50s?
Is that what it was? To tell the truth?
I think it was To Tell the Truth. Or something like that. It's
yeah.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will verify or invalidate me. In this case, Osborne claims it's all true. Osborne says that during a house fire that started after she and her husband, Ozzy Osbourne, accidentally left a candle burning, I could believe it, she forced a former assistant to go back into the blaze to recover precious artwork. She also said that once the paramedics arrived, she proceeded to rip the staffer's oxygen mask off his face and give it to her dog instead.
Why would you admit that?
I'm not quite sure what to say to that. I guess it's not injecting feces into your cancer patient's son's IV. That's pretty cruel, though. But despite taking on the daring task of entering the burning home, the former assistant was fired, she said on the BBC broadcast. Why? Okay, I'm looking at the answer to that question. I can't believe that this is the answer to that question. That's why I'm pausing, because I'm like looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, I thought it was bizarre, one, that she'd fire somebody after doing that very dangerous thing for items. Two, that she would remove his oxygen mask and give it to her dog after he had just risked his life for her things. But why did she fire him? Because the staffer didn't laugh about the incident.
I'm sorry, what?
Quote, I once sacked a member of my staff because he showed absolutely no sense of humor during a house fire. I said, if you don't think that's funny, do you think this is funny? You're fired, unquote. Okay, Sharon Osbourne might not be a manslaughter tempting mother, but she's a horrible person.
Yeah, why would you ever tell somebody this story?
I guess if you're
even on a show like that,
if you're given an excuse to tell the truth for entertainment value, and of course it's Sharon Osbourne, so really, does she have any shame left at this point?
Well, I feel like, Monkey, you're extremely honest and you're not filthy rich. I couldn't imagine how honest you would be if you had fuck you money.
You know what? It's the Celtic. Hold on. It's the Celtic Mandalore's wife's birthday.
Oh.
So is she the let's see. I don't know that they had a term for female Mandalorians. I mean there was the Empress, but that was sort of like a title. But I don't know. Is she part of Death Watch? You know, or is she part of let's see. Okay, what is the Celtic Mandalore wife's name? Or handle, I suppose. Let us know, and we can sing happy birthday. Unless I missed it already. I might have missed it already. So if is Mandalorianette, yeah. Wouldn't a female Mandalorian be a Mandalorian? No. Just Mando's all true Mando. She goes by Doomtastic. Doomtastic. Wow, that's so the Celtic Mandalore is married to Doomtastic. That's got to be an interesting relationship. Monkey.
Doomtastic, we hear it's your birthday, and around here we do this. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Doomtastic is an awesome name.
Happy birthday to you.
I do like Woman DeLorean though.
Happy birthday, Doomtastic.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Doomtastic. I hope you had a great one. I really do. Before we move on, I need to address what Satsu just said about me being, how honest I would be with fuck you money. And I get what you're saying there. I really do. However, I'd like to think I wouldn't be a shitbag who would need to tell that kind of story. That's more my point there. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, if I did something like that, I'd be probably honest about it. But what kind of fucking person does that?
Somebody who's rich and doesn't care about people anymore. I guess. Or
Get that?
you don't have to be rich to act like that, I suppose, but it doesn't help, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, shall we move on to the MSS news?
Your show, sure.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Sorry, I don't mean to hit I just hit my microphone stand. You're the leader of the pack tonight, dude.
I wasn't sure if that long pause was me breaking up again, so I was getting paranoid for a moment. But anyway,
do your thing, man. Do your thing.
So everyone, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's because I'm paranoid about internet service. Let's see. Which one do I want to do here? Okay, this one comes from Shrouded Angel. It'll come through here. I gotta shrink it so I can watch chat at the same time. Mom asks pals to fund £27,000 Disney World wedding as it is impossible to save money.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's no secret that weddings can quickly become very expensive affairs. Some people opt to go all out when they tie the knot, having the ceremony in a lavish location, ordering custom dresses, a decadent cake, and so much more. But not everyone has the money to do that, so others have to keep things simple and modest. One bride-to-be has admitted to lacking the funds needed for her dream wedding at Disney World, but she's not prepared to let that stop her from having it. Instead, the unnamed woman has decided to ask her pals to donate £27,000 or $35,000 to pay for her big day. And here's the post. Quote, "My husband and I would love very much to be able to have our dream wedding at Florida Walt Disney World Resort. However, between bills and our children, we just don't have enough money saved up. It's close to impossible. It seems like to save back money when you have children, 7 to be exact. We did reach it.
Wait, they got 7 kids?
They're not married yet. Well, all those kids are bastards. We did reach out to them to see how we can, I'm assuming Florida or Disneyland, to see how we can possibly get in there and have ours even filmed for the show. I don't know what she's talking about. We're waiting to hear back, but we need help to make this happen. We want to do this on July 4th of this year, our anniversary of when we first met, July 4th of 2014. Due to his recent heart attack, we would like as much help as possible to have this happen. We'd also like for his grandmother to be able to attend. She would need her nurse there with her, so we would need to be able to cover those expenses as well. The hotel stays, food, transportation, gas money for those in their own vehicles, and then the resort. We are doing our best to set back what we can, but we figured we'd ask for, I'm assuming more is what they cut it off. Okay.
7 fucking kids? No wonder you can't save money.
Yeah, and
you need to do is save up for condoms. What the fuck?
Yeah, save up for a tubeotomy.
God damn.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna say saving is easy, but you know, when you have 7 kids, I imagine saving is not very easy.
Yeah, but no, nobody should give them money. No, sorry. Just make your own little Disneyland in your backyard and grow up.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, man. Or you can not have a fucking $20,000 wedding.
You got that? Yeah. Isn't there a Euro Disney?
Is that still around? I thought that closed.
Did they close Euro Disney?
I thought that was a big turkey in it. Like it eventually had to close, or it got bought up by somebody else.
Let me see. I got to check it out now. I don't remember.
I don't hear about Euro Disney anymore. So I remember from the 80s, it was like a huge boondoggle. TM Writer says Disney Paris and Japan. So maybe the Paris one is still open, but I mean it's Paris. The suspense is killing me, Monkey.
From what I see, the one in France, Euro Disney, it's still there.
Oh, well, maybe they want to go to the Star Wars experience and it's not in Paris yet.
It's been open since '92.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway. there's that story. But we have a news story. We have breaking news.
Breaking news. Who died now?
Well, no. I mean, it's breaking news in the sense that it's something that I think the three of us would appreciate. And Becca Fairley sends this to us. Fairley Becca. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds confirms Deadpool 3 at Marvel Studios.
Well, of course. I mean, Deadpool's a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, no kidding. The question is, will Disney allow it to be R?
They should if they're smart, but probably
they're
not.
smart. I mean, but under an R. Here's the question though: a R movie under the Marvel label that has not happened yet. That would be a first because all the Marvel movies thus far have been PG-13 at worst.
Oh, that's right, because that is Marvel now, isn't it?
Right. So if they do it under the Marvel branding, it would be a first. Let's see. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to every Deadpool fan out there, because franchise star and producer Ryan Reynolds certainly has some good news for you. There has been a lot of speculation surrounding the release of a third Deadpool movie following Disney's purchase of Fox, the company responsible for the first two films. While the character is a bona fide moneymaker, folks have doubted whether or not Disney would be okay with making a Marvel film that's rated R, not exactly aligning with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, it looks like everyone at the studio is on board because Reynolds has now confirmed that Deadpool 3 is in the works. Yeah, but what about the R rating? Huh? Let's see. Quote, yeah, we're working on it right now with the whole team, Reynolds said. We're over at Marvel Studios now, which is the big leagues all of a sudden. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, we're working on it, unquote. Okay, that still doesn't say. It seemed like a foregone conclusion that Disney would find some way to make more Deadpool movies, regardless of how they fit or don't fit with the MCU. Until Joker arrived this year, Deadpool and Deadpool 2 were the highest grossing R-rated movies in box office history, each making more than $780 million around the globe. There's no way Disney would ever pass up on that kind of mass appeal. That's true.
That doesn't mean they won't fucking ruin it.
That's right.
That's my worry there. I don't even care about the R rating. You could still do quite a bit without the R rating, but it's Disney. They're going to stick their little dicks in there and fuck it all up.
Assassin the Grey says, Scribe Light, they have plenty of R-rated Disney movies released through their subsidiary studios. Yes, like Touchstone, etc. But that's the thing. This won't be a subsidiary. This will be Marvel, which to this point has not had an R-rated movie under the Disney Marvel brand. There have been R-rated Marvel movies over at Sony and Fox and stuff, but that's different. This is Disney, so it would be an interesting turn if they open up the door to an R-rated Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, even if it's something that's mostly tongue-in-cheek like Deadpool. Mm-hmm. My fingers are crossed for things like Ghost Rider and Moon Knight and maybe Punisher in the future, or maybe somebody else I'm not thinking of, or a Blade reboot. That'd be great. We'll see. Not with Wesley Snipes, though. What's this? Okay, this one comes from Quinn Harrison. Not quite sure what this story is about. It's a mystery to me, but let's find out. Heavy metal band's message to students. We are not alone. Okay. Pray for Sleep is a heavy metal band with a mission beyond just making music. It's not a Christian metal band, is it?
I never heard of them.
The band, I don't know. Yeah, the band has designed a program outreach for schools called Scream Back to help students with mental health and behavioral issues. Okay, members of the Pray for Sleep band remember well the struggles of their teen years. The four-man heavy metal group from the northern suburbs of Columbus want to return to schools to help. The group has designed a program for school assemblies called Scream Back. During the program, the group shares their music and personal stories dealing with their own mental and behavioral health challenges when they were younger. Quote, our main message is that we are not alone, said Reno Houston. Reno Houston. If that's not a stage name, I'm debating as to whether or not it's cool.
It's kind of cool.
Reno Houston 20, the band's drummer, quote, everyone struggles with something different, unquote. The statistics are staggering. Ohio's health department recently announced that it has seen a 56% increase in the suicide rate for youths between the ages of 10 and 24 from 2007 to 2018. Yuck. It is estimated that 1 in 5 people during their teenage years will experience a mental or behavioral issue, experts say. Only 1 in 5? I would think 5 out of 5, because teenage years are chaotic. You're going through so many changes, hormonally and socially, etc.
But not everybody takes it. I don't want to say it. I don't mean to be mean here, but that hard. You know what I mean?
I know, but I mean, just the way they said it so flatly, a mental or behavioral issue. It's just like Houston and other members of the band: Hayden Kistler, 19, Grant DeCrane, 22, and Ethan Carlson, 20. Yeah, no, I think Reno got the better name. Shared their stories in March when they performed their first Screamback show at Grandview Heights High School. Did they? Bunch of kids scream and stuff. And, wait, what's this? We have a musician. Hey, it's a musician. Hey, musician.
Where?
I guess I was wrong.
I don't class myself as a musician. Hello.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Not long in from work, so kind of tired. So I'm not going to stay too long, but thank you for inviting me.
Sure. Have you ever heard of Pray for Sleep? Are you a heavy metal aficionado at all?
No, they sound kind of gay.
Okay.
They sound gay.
Yeah, heavy metal. Pray for Sleep. You mean this particular band, or just heavy metal in general?
Oh no, that particular band.
Oh, okay. I was like, geez, there's a lot of really dedicated fans out there who are not happy with you right now. Oh, okay. Pray for Sleep. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't never heard of them. I'll have to look them up now.
I will say that what they're doing sounds cool, though. I have nothing against that. Going out there trying to help. Anything you can do to try to get the suicide rate down, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that too.
I think also one of them's ginger, so he's probably got some mental health problems by default.
Oh, tailed.
That's pretty rude.
Let's see. This one comes from Butt Fingies.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Butt Fingies. BUTTFINGIES. Butt Fingies.
Butt Fingies. All right.
We've had stories from Butt Fingies before.
I've never paid attention to that name. Sorry.
I tend to read the MSS News, so
it's not really a name that you'd forget in a hurry, is it?
Isn't it?
Right.
A young bright star has been acting a little erratic lately.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about Macaulay Culkin. Oh, sorry. The star Beetlejuice, don't say that 2 more times or else Michael Keaton will appear, is suddenly dimming. It may be a sign, astronomers say, that the star is about to explode. Another possibility is that the red supergiant may just be going through a phase. Like all teenagers. Ed Guinan.
No, get that band out there to talk to him.
Yeah, get the band out to talk to Beetlejuice. Get the heavy metal Pray for Sleep band to go talk to Beetlejuice. That sounds like a movie in the making, almost like a Scooby-Doo special or something.
I was going to say, though, if their tagline is "We are not alone," well, Beetlejuice is pretty alone.
Yeah,
all those light years away.
In space. Ed Guinan, Star Trek reference here, an astronomy professor at Villanova University, was the lead author on a December 8th paper entitled, quote, the fainting of the nearby supergiant Betelgeuse, unquote. He told CNN that Betelgeuse, pronounced Betelgeuse, oh, my bad.
Betelgeuse, that sounds so snooty.
Betelgeuse. Don't give me the Beetlejuice crap.
Actually,
it's Betelgeuse. Yeah. Betelgeuse been declining in brightness sharply since October and was now at 2.5 times fainter than usual. Well, it's not since October. It's since October of 2 zillion years ago. Right? Because we're only seeing it now. Whatever's happened to Betelgeuse. It almost sounds like a way you say it if you're Scottish. Betelgeuse. Beetle. Battle.
Beetle. No T.
Beetle. What causes the supernova is deep inside the star, Guinan said, and because the star is so huge, it's impossible to tell what's going on so far down. Yes. Well,
that's what she said.
Let's see. Guinan said Guinan said it's the most likely nearby supernova candidate. It's about 9 million years old, and stars as large as Betelgeuse don't usually have lifespans past 10 million years. Though its time is nigh, it probably won't explode in your lifetime. Quote, it'll probably happen in the next 200,000 or 300,000 years. So we've got some time. Okay.
Great story.
I know. It's like, wow, something we'll never see happen is maybe going to happen after we're all dead.
One time, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, if the news was filled with stories like that, there would be no room for any actual stories.
Well, I mean, it's true that our sun will also turn into a red giant at some point and expand to a size large enough to envelop the Earth and destroy every bit of life on the planet. Not for another couple million years. It's not for another couple million years, but it's going to happen. So that's why we need to moon base now to get practice for getting ourselves way out of here by 2 million years or whatever. Just saying. Let's see. This one comes from Jim Heelis. Jim the Body Heelis. If anybody's been paying attention to his Twitter and looking at his physical changes lately, holy cow.
That was almost a little bit disturbing the way you said that.
Well, he's gotten buff, man.
Bit gay.
I must be a metal band. California public schools can't suspend students for disobeying teachers, new law says.
That's fucking stupid.
That sounds like an invitation for disaster. Mike R says 1 billion years. Oh, a billion years? I thought it was a few million years. Sorry, my bad. Well, I guess a billion years is a few million years if you look at it from a particular point of view. Actually, Betelgeuse. New laws taking effect in 2020 will impact schools across California. Starting next year, well, I mean, if it's new Californian laws, I would assume so. Starting next school year, it will be illegal for public schools in the state to suspend students in 1st through 5th grade for willfully defying teachers or administrators.
Well, good luck disciplining the kids.
Yeah. Then from 2021 through 2025, it will be temporarily extended to kids in grades 6 through 8. Oh boy, here we go. Supporters say suspensions for willful defiance are disproportionately used against students of color.
That's not true.
Another new law, a mandatory change to school start times. The law is set to be phased in over the next 3 years. High schools can start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. and no sooner than 8 a.m. for middle schoolers. I'm trying to remember when my elementary school I think it was 8 o'clock. I don't think that's too odd.
Yeah, I think ours was 8.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
that sounds like just. I mean, I'm curious to know what the average start time for schools in California was prior to this. Then, the controversial measure could be costly. Okay, state legislative analysis have said some schools may end up spending millions to accommodate the adjustment. Really, what time do they start before? They don't say. Limiting and banning smartphone use is at the center of another law affecting schools in 2020. School boards will have the power to ban devices with the exception of emergencies or other special situations, such as medical reasons. Well, here's the question. If I bring my smartphone to my elementary school through 1st or 5th grade, and they say you can't bring that here, say, you just broke the law. Or you can't suspend me for it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Angry Illinoisian, thank you. I see the crime rate going up in this area in the next decade or so. Well, the school to prison pipeline is a thing, I hear. So, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Was I ever suspended for acting out in school? I was never suspended. I got detention. What did you do?
I made a website denigrating the school.
Nice.
Seriously?
Back in the day, yep.
Oh
I had a picture of my registration teacher with a cartoonishly large penis drawn on his head. And I actually got told not to come back. because I was 16 or 17 by that point, so I didn't legally have to be at school anymore. So they just told me to leave and not come back. But I fought my way back.
Will you punch the teachers until you come back in school?
Yeah, but that was funny though, because he was a bit of a dick, that teacher, and I had some other teachers coming up to me saying, "Thought that was really funny, by the way."
Dude, you're my new hero. That's fucking awesome.
I only got.
I mean, that was back in the day. I made my own website.
So I know, right? That's impressive as shit.
I mean, I know OK Boomer and all that, but
did you use Angel Fire or GeoCities?
It probably was something like that. Yeah, I used Netscape.
Dude,
design it.
Dude,
it's like Netscape 4 or something.
Oh man, the steering wheel, yo, the steering wheel. Ms. Slim 1, thank you. It was 7:55 or 8:15 a.m. when I was still in school in California. This is middle and high school. Yeah, but still, I thought, I as far as I can recall, 8 a.m. was the start time when I was in elementary school and junior high, and I don't think it was anything other than 8 o'clock in my district. So
pretty fucking early.
Is it though?
Well, I mean, we had to be in for registration at when I was in high school, something like 8:45, and we didn't actually start classes till 9.
Huh, I'm trying to think. Maybe we had to be there at 8 and we started at 8:30, something like that. But it wasn't too far off from what California is making law. But I'm just curious to know what was, like I said, what was the average start time otherwise before this law was instituted or about to be instituted.
I've been requested to say something to Moonshock's wife. I apparently have to say, if you think my voice is sexy, you should see what I've got down below.
Wow.
I should start charging for this. I should start putting my Streamlabs in the fucking chat.
No, dude, you need to start an ASMR channel. You just like speak words for like half an hour and take donations.
Yeah, you imagine that as a Scottish ASMR. I'd just be like, right, yeah, fucking.
The whole time it's like, what the hell did you just say?
Thank you, Sanguine. So the black kids are acting out and being obstreperous. Wow, I haven't seen that in a while. Gits, so they think the fix is just allowing them to do so without reprimand. What's their next law? Fire departments have to use gas on fires? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they think is going to be solved by doing that. But I am morbidly curious to find out what the results are after a year or two in California schools. But
it's really stupid.
Yeah, every time I hear this, it annoys me because it really goes back to that whole like I told you guys, I think I talked to you guys about the friends that I had who used to get pissed off whenever we go to a store and people would be like looking at them like they were stealing stuff. And they would get mad. Like, look at this fucker following me and shit. Like they're so fucking thirsty. Look at them, always treating us like that or whatever. And we'd leave, and I'd be like, "What's that in your hand?" It's like, "Oh, I stole this." I'm just like, "You motherfucker! Like, why are you upset that they're following you around like you're stealing stuff?" They just assume. And this is what he said to me. I'm like, "So you actually stole, but you were mad because they were following you around like you were going to steal." He was like, "Well, they shouldn't just assume that I am." And I'm like, maybe it's because you were. Like, maybe it's just because you were looking suspicious, like you were stealing shit, because you actually stole something, you fucking idiot. But that mentality it happens so much in the hood where motherfuckers are up to no good all fucking day. And then the moment somebody calls them out for being up to no good, they want to play the victim. Like, oh, this is what we be talking about. We get treated like this, so we do stuff like this. This is our excuse. Like, no, it's not an excuse. You're a piece of shit, and you're mad that people know it.
Well, also with this, where they say, black kids are more affected by this. What they're talking about is that a kid is more likely, say if he's black, to get suspended. But what they don't talk about is that at that point they've already gotten in trouble 2 or 3 times. It's not like, oh, they did something wrong and they're immediately suspended, but the white kid gets to stay in class. Is that the white kid gets yelled at and goes, all right, I don't want to get my ass beat when I get home. And for whatever reason, little Timmy's like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I get a little suspicious when I hear those things because I did a video like a year or two ago or something about the school to prison pipeline, and the statistics they use to show that certain kids were getting disproportionately mistreated, let's say, or dealt with on the basis of their skin color. They got their statistics from, I believe it was like the ACLU, and I found the actual statistic they were citing, but they were citing one portion of a larger statistic that showed that there wasn't nearly that much disparity as they were talking about, because God forbid they're cherry picking their stats to show what they want to show. And yeah, so I get a little hesitant when I hear something that's that broadly stated to begin with, but yeah, no, well, now that you can't suspend any kid, I mean, thankfully the law isn't based on race, so you'll have every kid who misbehaves and doesn't get in trouble for it or doesn't get suspended. They'll be testing the limits. There'll be kids of all stripes testing the limits of what the teachers will or will not do and what they'll go to. So, is this going to get me suspended? No. Or stop talking in class. Well, what are you going to do then?
What are you going to do about it?
I mean, I guess you can still do detention. They didn't say you can't put somebody in detention, but.
Well, yeah. I don't know. And once again, we find ourselves in a situation where like everybody loses, because there are some scenarios where kids are being singled out, you know, for various reasons.
Sure.
And that's a serious conversation that, you know, it's probably needed, but we can't talk about that because we got too much bullshit information going around. And then because these fucking people who are in charge are too either incompetent or lazy to actually do something about it, they pull blanket bullshit like this, where they're just like, okay, well, all right, well, nobody gets in trouble then. Everybody gets to get away with everything. Like that's not a solution. Because
they don't want to be called racist. You know, somebody said this is racist. Oh, we don't want to be seen as racist, so we just won't do anything anymore. So we don't risk it. I mean, on the one hand, I can kind of understand their logic. It's like, well, I don't need the hassle of a lawsuit over something like this if this happens again and somebody accuses us of something. On the other hand, it's kind of like, well, okay, is fear going to be the thing that dictates how you educate children now? Right. Anyway, let me do one more here before we get on to YouTube time, because I just spotted this and we hadn't had a story yet from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. North Carolina couple call 911 on vacuum cleaner thought to be intruder.
Oh, yeah, we read. Didn't we read this one yesterday, Monkey?
Oh, did you?
We did indeed. We did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I don't want to repeat.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was a Roomba that went rogue or something.
I think so.
Yeah, the Roomba turned on at night, and they're not quite sure why. I think it's the robots coming to get us.
Oh, like Maximum Overdrive?
Yeah. They're starting to become sentient.
Uh-oh. That means, you know who we need to call then? Emilio Estevez.
Who?
Emilio Estevez. He will save us from the sentient machine.
Skynet, is it?
What, Roomba? Well, I mean, did you ever watch Maximum Overdrive?
No.
Okay, well, it's based on a Stephen King story, and it has the Green Goblin in it. I won't tell you how that happens because I'd be spoiling it. But anyway, a Walkman strangled someone to death in the first scene. It doesn't take much, Tailed. It really doesn't take much.
Is it an 80s film by any chance?
How did you guess? Oh, when I said Walkman, did that give it away?
Maybe, although I had one and I was only born in 86, so.
Are you born in 86?
I was.
God, I'm so much older than you.
Yeah,
I'm 7 years older than you are.
Get wrecked, old man.
Hey, you were born the same year that the Challenger exploded.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about 1986, honestly, was sitting in that classroom in first grade watching the TV going like, look, kids, the teacher's going into space. It was horrifying. I mean,
Explains a lot about you, Scribe.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the time, it really didn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, I didn't quite comprehend at the age of, what was I, 6 years old or something, what I was seeing. So it took a while for me to sort of understand what had happened, and I don't know that it ever really hit me because I don't think the enormity of it registered in my brain at that age. until later on. So anyway, that's beside the point. Everyone, thank you so much for all the stories. Appreciate it. Now I'll move on to YouTube time. And since Tailed is not long for the show, Tailed, what have you been up to lately?
Very little, to be honest with you, YouTube wise. I just haven't had any impetus at the moment. I've actually been thinking about starting again, basically, kind of doing what Irate Bear did, and having a different channel for kind of different stuff, and in the hopes that it might get monetized.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the moment. I don't really know where to go with YouTube.
Yeah, it seems to be going around because between Misa and Bear and you and even myself lately, I've been kind of running into a wall of lack of inspiration or something, or just maybe I need to shift my my focus or something. I mean, I think we're maybe 3 years is sort of like the ceiling for people like us when it comes to this little thing that we do.
Maybe. I'm also finding politics very depressing. So
yeah,
I kind of want to do more music stuff and more kind of. I released a video a few months ago, a history video, and I'd quite like to do more stuff like that. But yeah, I think I would keep the Tailed Feature channel for politics. If I had like a rant to do or something like that. Yeah, but I think I'm probably going to start a new channel. So I'm just kind of figuring out how to frame it, and will I even show my face? Who knows?
Oh my God! Well, I think a music channel would be great. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of opportunities to express that part of yourself, at least on here, except for when we're doing like silly birthday songs or something, or when you do the occasional theme song for Count Dankula's wife or something.
Yeah. So it'd be quite good to just, I know I do silly parodies sometimes, but it'd be quite good just to, do a bit more exploration, do an album or something like that. Could be quite cool.
You should also do maybe a little series on teaching music. I mean, Tailed Feature at all, you can try teaching
maybe, yeah, I could do some lessons or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Learn guitar with Tailed Feature.
Oh God!
All right.
I'll show you all the bad things to do.
Well, no bad. I mean, it can't be as bad as like heavy metal for what was it? Pray Our Fears, or what was it called?
Pray for Sleep.
Pray for Sleep. I don't remember. Pray for Fears sounds like it could be a metal band.
Oh yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
Anyway, anything else?
No, I mean I've still kind of been half writing scripts and stuff like that for covering various topics and things, but yeah, I don't feel like the having the drive there at the moment. Yeah, so I'm gonna see what else I can do, I think, and see what feels comfortable.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I got like 4 or 5 folders on my desktop of things that I half started. And I was poking through them yesterday or the day before and tried to work on them. And then I realized why I stopped working on them before, because I was just kind of like, no, I don't really care enough about this. Well, but things might be changing. I'll get to that when I get to my piece. Satsu, what have you been up to?
Cooking channel stuff. Trying to keep up with all that. So this whole ramen thing has kind of gotten out of hand.
You think?
And it's now like kind of infecting other people around me, because one of my friends who I've known for a very long time now jumped on the whole sending me ramen train or whatever. And he did it just to be funny, because he's like, you got more ramen now. Where the fuck are you going to put it? But some of them he kept for himself, and he tried some of them. And now, like, he sent me a picture earlier today of him ordering like a fucking 100-pack of ramen. And I'm just like, oh shit. This is getting bad.
You need a sponsor, dude. You need to contact Top Ramen or Mission or whoever does that stuff and say, "Hey, have I got a deal for you? Free advertising."
I'm just like, holy shit, man. And like all the new, like, because like I said, I've tried so many new things that I didn't even know exist, you know, just all this kind of new stuff or whatever. And it's awesome. But man, oh man, first off, finding this shit is a bitch and a half. Fortunately, all the stuff that I like in particular is on Amazon. So if I want it, I could, you know, order a fucking box of it or whatever. But I'm just like, God damn, dude, I have so much ramen. Like I literally have like 20 videos worth of ramen that I have not tried yet in my kitchen waiting for a video to be recorded. So it's kind of crazy right now. I also I got like 10 or 15 different recipes that I've printed out for all the stuff that Cryptic sent me, and we'll be going to the store tomorrow to gather up a lot of the other little things that we need on the in-between, like meat and stuff like that, in order to execute, because lots of Asian-inspired recipes are going to be coming out. Outside of that, we're going to be on the gaming channel playing Desolate tonight. We played a little bit of it before. This game is really difficult.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's kind of janky. It's hard to explain. You guys will have to come over and watch it or whatever. It is a survival game, but it's not your typical survival game. There's something weird about it. There doesn't seem to be any building mechanics though, which makes me just a little sad. But it does seem to have a story, so this might be a game that we can beat. And if so, we're probably going to focus on the story and just kind of try to get through it, you know. So come and hang out if you want to check out this new. This is a new game, right?
I don't know.
From I think this is, from what I was seeing on the page, they were saying that this was like early access. I thought. I could be wrong about that, but I have to double check and see. It looks interesting enough. So yeah, we'll be playing that over on the gaming channel. Otherwise, that's it. Cooking channel stuff and game streams.
All right, Monkey, what you been up to today?
Oh God, let's see. I did a Monkey in the morning, and I played some Red Dead 2, and then I did a Monkey in the morning after party a few hours ago. So streaming as usual. That's all.
One thing that I was going to, that I probably should have mentioned, that I kind of shelled myself in the chat. I'm kind of poor at the moment, so I basically said, if anybody else wants me to say things with my glorious accent, please send me Streamlabs donations and I'll do it. But make sure you donate to Scribe, of course.
I appreciate it. No, you should offer your voice artist services for different things, like reading people's, doing intros for people's shows and things like that. I did that a couple of times for some people.
Whore yourself, damn it!
Yeah, do it.
Just be people asking me to say, "Get out of my swamp." That'll be it.
Let's see. For myself, I actually worked on a video today.
Woohoo!
I actually found, scripted, recorded the audio, and started assembly all this afternoon. It's a very interesting video. It's a little interview deal with a lady who apparently became famous, and I use quotation marks. I'd never heard of her before, but then different people are famous for different things. She became famous because a photo of her at the Women's March in 2017, I think, went viral, they say. And this launched her career into writing how white women in feminist movements are totes racist, yo.
I hate them bitches.
Yeah, it's a very interesting little interview piece, because for once, I have to give him credit, and I'll point this out in the video. The interviewer is not throwing softballs. I was surprised as all hell when, like, one of the first questions she asked actually challenged the speaker on what she had just stated. like directly. It wasn't some kind of like accident or whatever. She was actually asking a probing question. I was like, oh, what? This isn't just a puff piece? What? But even though the interviewer asked some really good questions, she didn't push back too much on a lot of her answers, and so that's where I kind of found my way into the piece. So anyway, I got that all. I have basically everything I need to put that together. I just have to spend some more time putting it together. I'm hoping to have it out tomorrow if I get really ambitious tomorrow morning. But at worst, I'll have it out Sunday probably. And yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't think anything else is YouTubing. I did find a one of those really long form discussion deals that I was thinking about maybe doing a live stream on, but I'm still debating. Holy cats! Cody Fry, thank you so much. The final gift is given. The oath is fulfilled. No kissing involved. I'd smooch you a little. I mean, I guess I already am kind of a whore, so
Peck on the cheek.
yeah, there you go. Well, the facial cheek.
And a little tickle
Well,
of the balls.
I'm glad you specified.
Yeah, I'm glad I specified too, because I was waiting for Monkey to run in there with it.
I'm just saying you got to tickle the balls. No matter which cheek you kiss, you just tickle them a little bit.
Oh, is it with my mint chocolate chip cookie, the deviled balls?
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
You're used
Thank
to
you,
it
Cody
anyway.
Fry. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you.
Thanks.
But also, yeah, if you want Tail to say something in his lovely accent, by all means, throw him like a $5 or something on his Streamlabs, and he'll say something for you.
Speaking of which, yeah, just go on Fiverr, man. Sell
There
your
you go,
on
Fiverr.
Fiverr.
Yeah, so you can do answering machine messages or something,
Does anybody have answering machines anymore?
or voicemail, whatever. You know, it's just the terminology my brain immediately goes to. But I know
Fucking
that,
boomer.
I know. You know, I think I've said this before. I occasionally do find myself in a situation where it's relevant. Use the phrase K-line to describe someone getting either like knocked out or fired or something. And for those of you who are IRC babies or MIRC, you know what K-line means. And it's just something that comes out of me. And of course, I don't think anybody really uses IRC anymore except for total dorks. I don't use IRC anymore. I promise.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Whatever,
don't.
dork.
It's like, you know, I think the first time I ever heard the word dork in a way that made any sense to me was when I watched Monster Squad, and the kids like they had to find a virgin to read the words or whatever to open the portal to hell or something, and the girl reads it and then nothing happens, and it's like, oh my god, my sister got dorked. I was like, yeah, dorked and Wolfman's got nards was like that was my vocabulary lesson when I watched that movie.
Oh my god.
Anyway, oh god, I'm old. Anyway, fucketry time. Let's see, do I have much of anything? I don't think I do have much, but I'll get mine done quick. Oh yeah, there was a article from the Washington Post that said America's schools are more diverse than ever, but the teachers are still mostly white. And I said, and the underheading to that, it says, it said that minority students, particularly Latinos, are on the rise, but few of their classes are taught by teachers of the same race. And I said, as I've said in God knows how many videos on education I've done in the past, I said, so like should only be taught by like then. Teachers should be both hired and assigned students on the basis of their skin color. Is that our lesson for today, Washington Post? Because that seems to be the lesson that was being provided there. Made me irritated. And then, I'll let Monkey talk about that one. Let's see. Harry Enton, our friend Harry Enton said, I'm writing on this, but there have been fewer Iowa polls at this point in any caucus season since 2000. We don't know what the heck is going on. And I said, maybe they're learning lessons from 2016 and being more cautious and methodical in their approach. Probably not, but one can always hope. And
Well, I just got a donation, by the way.
oh boy! For what? What do they want you to do?
For a couple.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! What do they want you to say?
Wow, I never actually expected this to happen. I was just being a bit cheeky, but okay. The first, the first one is by someone called Scribe Light.
Well, that
fucker.
Oh,
That fucker, yeah. It's SKRIBELITE.
Oh, well, that's my evil twin, I think.
And they have just said, well, it must be your evil twin because it says Red October is a good, not great movie.
Evil twin, go fuck yourself.
Moonshock just said, thanks for the message. The wife loved it. So you're very welcome.
There you go.
And my mom, she just says, say something evil in Gaelic to Monkey. He called me old today.
Oh, I think I know. I might know who that is.
So yeah, Kersh Gulior boomer.
Ouch. I don't know what that was, but it sounded harsh.
Well, you'll never know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Google Translate won't help you there. Okay, and my last one, just to get this out of the way real quick, because I know people are going to have Tail say more things here real quick. So there's an article that came out on CNN today as an opinion piece. I won't read the whole thing. I'll just read the bits and pieces here. The title was, "The Patriotic Move is for Trump to Resign." And in the middle of the article was this quote. If Trump forces the nation to go through an impeachment in the Senate, the consequences for our democracy will be grave, unquote.
Will it?
And I said, number one, who's forcing what now? And number two, resigning unconvicted just ahead of the next election will be good for our democracy? The entire article is just like mostly nonsense or just some very weird wishful thinking and trying to compare and contrast Trump with Nixon and Nixon's situation versus Trump's situation, etc. Yeah, and it was one of the first things I saw this morning, and I was just kind of like, I don't think so. Oh, sorry, I had one more thing. There was a whole lot of stuff going on about people cheering for Rose Tycho, the character from The Last Jedi and briefly, apparently, in Rise of Skywalker, because she only had, what was it, 1 minute and 16 seconds of screen time on the new movie.
Shouldn't have sucked.
It's so I got two different tweets on the subject on different things. So the first one says, Rose Tycho, played by the iconic Kelly Marie Tran, only has 1 minute 16 seconds of screen time out of the 2-hour 22-minute running time of Rise of Skywalker. And I said, iconic? Don't get me wrong, Boba Fett was only on screen for something like 5 minutes, so it doesn't take much to create a legend. But when your only notable actions are being obsessed with space llamas and going on a romantic suicide run, you're lucky to even have a cameo.
Well, also they're calling the actress iconic.
Right. And I was kind of like, and that was sort of where I was going, because I thought the only thing, okay, and again, I don't know what this the actress has done prior to Star Wars, so maybe there's something I'm missing there. But Rose Tycho is not iconic to me. I don't know what to tell you. This illustrates it a bit more clearly, I think. Someone else, a total like, please respond to this and like this, Kelly Tran. Disney, the solution is simple. Give Rose Tycho her own Disney Plus show. 8 episodes, new adventure, love interest, story fleshed out. From the perspective Star Wars needs, the working class every person winning by saving what we love. And I said,
that sounds gay.
I said, yes, that's what the fans are clamoring for. Following a working class every person, except now a resistance commander in the military. One who saved space llamas, abandoned child slaves, and nearly killed herself and Finn at the expense of the resistance base on Crate. Win. And that's all of my fuckatry. Tail, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad. People in chat, because you love hearing what Tail has to say, don't you? He's not gonna put his Streamlabs back in the chat here in a second, just accidentally or nothing on the chance.
No.
Anyway, no, I'm not psychic. I'm just anyway. Tail, did you have any fucketry for today?
No, I've been at work, so I haven't
okay.
had a chance, I'm afraid.
All right.
And I wasn't expecting to be on here, so.
That's true. This is a surprise. A welcome surprise. Satsu, do you have any fucketry?
Yeah, I saw the rose thing too, and I don't think they know what the word iconic means.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And first, when I first read it, I thought they were talking about the character, but then I saw, oh, it's the actress. But still, I don't think she's quite had a career storied enough yet to be called iconic.
Well, to that point, it was this is something that I think we may have discussed before. It doesn't take much to make icons to people.
True.
Whose metric for iconic is vagina and Asian. Yeah. Where it's just like Superman as a superhero was built up, over time, and he has become iconic because of all his feats and everything that he's been in and all the adventures and all the shit that he's had. Has become an icon, and people didn't necessarily see him that way when he first, debuted or whatever. It was just like, okay, this is a thing, and he became iconic over time. But that's not how the people who like these type of characters operate. The moment they hear female and person of color, that is instantly iconic. Like that is like this is groundbreaking. This is the best character ever created. Immediately, they don't have to do anything. I don't care if they don't even have any powers. Like they could literally work at a gas station and that's it. But female and Asian, that's all I needed to hear. Icon. Like that's how it works for them, unfortunately.
Real quick, thank you, Cody Fry. You needn't kiss me, Scribe. In fact, please don't. I was making a joke at my own expense. I'm straight, unlike Ranting Monkey, apparently.
Excuse me, only my hair is gay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Cody, again.
I also saw something from NBC News that says transgender children may start to identify with toys and clothes typical of their gender identity from a very young age, a recent study suggests. And my response to that was, when you want to destroy gender norms but make them the baseline of your existence. Because I thought, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we were being told that claiming that toys have a certain gender or clothes have a certain gender attached to them is heteronormative bullshit.
Yes.
And should not be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
But now they are determining the entire metric of whether or not your child is transgender or not based on what toys and or clothes they wear. And I'm just like, are we trying to get rid of these norms or not? Is there literally anything that you people are consistent on? Because I can't think of anything at all. It's so strange, man. Like they're trying to contradict themselves.
Well, they're having trouble with the ideas that they put forward because they don't make sense. They're they're happy to tell us about gender fluidity, but then tell us that there's not just two genders. Well, what are you fluiding between? It sucks when you have no what's the word I'm looking for? Brain.
Yeah, it's fascinating, just watching how stupid people can be. I had like a little back and forth with SDA, but that was like, can't even really remember what that was about.
Wasn't it over that?
No. What was it? Okay, now you got me look.
I I swear it was over that.
No, it was about social constructs.
Yeah, but over the social constructs with that article. I pay attention.
Oh, well, yeah, but it was like a side conversation. This like veered off into something else because somebody was saying that that the reason that we should get rid of those notions, that toys and clothes are gendered, is because they are a social construct. And in a couple conversations that I've had with people about this, I'm like, yeah, okay, so what? And they're like, yeah, well, it's just some shit that some people created, so why should we have to follow it when it's just some shit that somebody made up? Like, it doesn't have to be a rule. And I'm like, is that it, though? Like, that's your reason? Because it's a social construct. Because if that's your reason, then everything is a social construct. So should everything be abolished because somebody just made it up? I should be able to kill you right now because somebody just thought up you shouldn't be able to do that. But why should I have to follow that? It's just a social construct, right? And she was claiming that I was purposely ignoring the subtext to what they really mean, because when they tell me specifically that the only reason we should stop doing something is specifically because it's a social construct, and they just leave it at that, I'm supposed to assume that what they really mean is something else and fill in the blanks for them, apparently. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I don't know if she was just like misunderstanding me or if she was just kind of trying to be contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. But I pretty much specified that I was talking about the people who literally use that as their only reasoning, because she was saying like, well, there are other reasons. Like some people elaborate more on, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not talking about people who give reasons other than this. Like, I'm specifically talking about people who give this only reason and just leave it at that. And she said, well, you're ignoring the subcontext or the subtext. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. But like I said,
you think she might have been being facetious?
I don't know. She seemed like she was, because she was arguing with somebody else about it too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think today. And it was about how, very young children might be drawn towards what gender they end up choosing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it had that very common weasel phrase in the article. Studies suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like I said, the whole thing that I pointed out in the first place was like, yeah, this is awfully suspicious that now acknowledging the fact that these clothes and toys have some type of gender direction is reasonable when you want to try to turn your kid into when you want to make your kid trans. Otherwise, it's horrible. It's evil. And it's just a social construct. So why should we have to follow it? Anyway, that's pretty much all the fucketry I have time for, at least.
Okay, Monkey, what do you got?
Sorry, could I just say I've had another couple of donations.
Oh, go ahead.
Very generous people tonight. One from Sanguine saying, "Give us your favorite toast or cheer." The classic one in Gaelic is Slanjva, which just means good health. It's a very common one. Or Slanjvor agad, that's may you have big or good health. And then there's the Robert Burns one, a classic. Here's to us, who's like us, damn few, and they're all dead. And then Sir Jim just said, just say any funny line from Monty Python, and I'm trying to think which particular line to say. So if you give me a minute, I'll have a wee think about that one. Okay. But thank you for the donations, though.
Hello, baby.
Oh,
can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
They said
hello.
Hi back. Hang on. Okay, wait. Okay, everybody say hi again.
Hi.
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 How are you?
Good.
Did you have fun drawing with Grandpa today?
Yeah, she sure did.
Did you do arts and crafts with Grandpa?
Yeah.
What did you draw?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can you say bye? Where are you going? Oh, hang on. She wants to get her headphones on so we can both listen.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, baby. All right, here you go. Let's get them on your head. Hold that for a second. I gotta plug them in. All right, now we can both hear.
Oh boy.
There you go. Got your cat. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
What were you talking about before I got back on?
Power.
Pawawa? I don't know what that is.
Wah. Grand Monkey, have you met Tailed?
What, honey? Okay, tell everybody night-night.
Oh.
Night.
Okay,
Night-night.
I love you. Say bye.
Night.
Bye.
Okay. Go potty and go get to bed, okay? I love you.
I love you.
Hang on. You got my headphones.
Oh.
You got my headphones wrapped.
Yeah, stand still for a damn minute.
Okay. Where were we?
Oh, I was asking you about. Oh wait, Tailed was going to say something from Monty Python, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah. So Prospero has suggested that I just say the classic. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. I'm assuming he wanted it in my own accent and not the faux French accent. But there you go. Any line from Monty Python, I just did one. So
There you go.
That has been fulfilled.
Some call me Tim.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. Monkey, do you have any quick fuckatry?
Nah, it's question time if you want to go ahead and move on.
Well, if you got like one good one, it's fine.
A good one?
Or an interesting one or a infuriating one. I don't know. I don't want to cut you off completely.
No, nothing really important has popped up here that I'm seeing.
All right. Well, then, everyone, it is chat time. If you have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints, please put them into the chat now. If you have things you'd like to hear Tailed say out loud with his stunning voice, I got to pay the piper, so to speak, so go check out his Streamlabs. Other than that, after this, over on 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Sats will be playing, was it Desolate? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Desolate.
Desolate, a weird survival game. I think I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, or at least was that the one where you guys had like the turrets and all that, and they were firing at the monsters?
Yeah.
No, that was
Or was that GTFO? That was GTFO. Okay, then I don't know. Maybe I don't know what Desolate is yet. And let's see what else. Oh, and if you guys have no idea who Tailed Feature is, you should go check out his channel, and also follow him on Twitter, because he might be having a completely new channel with new content soon. And you can't get away from that sonorous Scottish voice. You like that?
Yeah. See, the funny thing is, I think I sound like scum, but, obviously.
Hey, to
it's all
Americans,
relative.
To Americans, all you guys sound like you're just brilliant. Or Star Wars villains, one of the two.
Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, my first exposure really to British accents or European accents, let's say, mostly British, was Star Wars. So I thought all bad guys were British for a while, because that's how I was presented when I was a little kid. I thought if I heard a British accent, it must be a villain. And then I watched Sherlock Holmes with my mother, the Jeremy Brent version of Sherlock Holmes, and I found out otherwise. So it was a learning experience.
Yeah, because there was a story about there being some kind of party with all these actors and stuff, and Alan Rickman was there, and there was a kid in the room, and the kid goes and asks the question that you shouldn't ask. He goes up to Alan Rickman and says, "Why do you only play baddies?" And Alan Rickman says, "I don't play baddies. I play interesting people."
Nice.
But Hans Gruber, dude. Hans Gruber. Okay, so Kieverdam says, did you see the story of Michael Moore bashing white men? No, but I wouldn't disbelieve it.
Oh,
Man.
that does remind me of it's very short, but I saw some fucketry of some dude supposedly running. I think he was like running for mayor or something like that.
Mhm.
And he was like, I heard that the statistics for white male suicides were on the rise, and I was like, at first I was like, yeah, but then I thought like I probably shouldn't say that out loud,
Good
and I'm just like,
job.
but you just did.
He's a fat.
Like,
Politician for you. Sean Uli, Scribe Light, can you explain to Satsu how to pronounce persimmon so Sanguine won't have to have a stroke?
yeah, they were trying to get me to pronounce it, but the method that they used was not effective at all because it just didn't work out. I figured it out eventually, but it took way too long for me to do so, and they had a good time with that because I got to sound like an idiot for a while, and I actually made a bit of money because they kept donating to try to get me to pay attention to their stuff so I can see how much of an idiot I am. It worked out.
I got a question, Satsu, sideways. With your ramen videos, are you tagging the ramen companies in those things? Totally should be if you're not. You never know. You might get a sponsor out of the deal. Zeo Gold, Lords of the Night, which of the Devil's Fruits powers from One Piece would you like to have? Well, if I knew anything about One Piece, I would answer the question. But Satsu, do you know anything about what they're talking about?
What did they say?
Devil's Fruits powers from One Piece.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, that is way too much to explain right now.
That sounds like a young person thing.
Angry Illinoisan, should I reinforce the walls of my escape tunnel in 7 days to die?
Depends on how wide it is and how deep it is.
That's what she said. Now that was an Alan Rickman laugh right there. Furry Kitten says Jeremy Brett is the only Sherlock Holmes. In my world, he really is. He was the perfect Sherlock Holmes, and none have topped him since. And I don't mean it that way. Terry Diamantis, if you woke up from a coma and a necrophiliac was in the middle of enjoying you, who would be more upset, you or the necrophiliac? What?
They'd be in the wrong place.
I think they would be upset because I wasn't dead. And if I was only in a coma, I don't know why they'd be messing with me in the first place because I wouldn't be dead.
Yeah, they're in the wrong ward.
Yeah, or they don't know
what you'd be too warm.
That too. Yeah, too warm and too pliant.
Pliant, nice.
Pliant. Like that. Hey, yeah, I'm an English major. Prospero says Sassy isn't hooked on phonics. Well, I mean, how often do people say persimmon?
Well, that was the thing. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like, why? And they're like, oh, it's a foreign fruit. And I'm just like, then why would you expect me to just be like, oh, this is a thing I've never seen before. I am an expert on its pronunciation.
Data Wasteland says he said pro Simon.
That is not what the fuck I said at any point throughout that whole exchange.
Is there a politician named Simon that we should like get a clip of Satsu saying pro Simon on or something? Gorbet goes camping. That is a good idea, Scribe Light. Tag them for sure, Satsu. I think so. I think if a ramen company saw you doing positive reviews of their ramen, they might be interested to hear that. Hypnagogic Monk. Who should get the noose first? Schiff, Northam, or Moore? None of them. They haven't done anything to be hung for. Even Adam Schiff, I'm not happy with him, but he didn't. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, I don't know. Unless you guys have opinions on who should get the noose first.
Well, I don't necessarily think any of them deserve the noose, but if you're going to do it, I start with the lightest one so you don't fuck up the rope.
I have a feeling that'd probably be Schiff. He's kind of a beanpole. Let's see. Check your logic. What do you think was the worst song of 2019?
You'd have to tell me the songs of 2019.
I
Yeah,
stopped listening to pop music in about 2004.
I'm gonna say Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't even this year, I don't think.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. The music that I have heard lately, it just it doesn't click for me, I guess. Or at least the recommendations I get in YouTube now are always of songs that I kind of like, but they're from like 7 years ago, and I never heard of them before. So the worst song, and I mean, if I don't like a song, I stop listening to it. So I don't know. Stacy Gardner, Scribe like devil fruits are powers based on the name of the fruits at the cost of being able to swim. Okay, anime is weird. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it is.
Sanguine, thank you. He said it as Parsimon. Parsimon? Oh, I see. Okay.
I said Persimmon.
Persimmon sounds like a character out of like some kind of like space Greek opera.
Yeah, I said Persimmon because that's exactly how it's spelled. But they said you have to say the mon part like you're saying lemon.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Non-Vitae Rex, thank you. What is your second favorite film, Scribe, and why did Hunt for Red October take the @1 spot? Okay, my second favorite film, gosh. For consistency, as far as something that has been consistently one of my favorite films, probably Strange Days. It's the first time I ever saw Ralph Fiennes in a film. It was directed by Catherine Bigelow, who'd also done Near Dark, which is one of my favorite vampire movies. It's kind of retro now because at the time it came out like 96, I want to say, or 97. And it was set as taking place at the end of, as the new year for 2000, because that was part of the plot. But it's kind of this weird sort of grounded cyberpunk kind of thing. It's hard to explain without seeing it. I don't want to give anything away, but the first scene in the movie, in my mind, at the time at least, was so different and revolutionary in the way it was done. It just brings you into the story real quick. And there's a whole like essay on the direction and creation of that scene, given the time and given the technology. So yeah, Strange Days, probably my second one. As far as Hunt for Red October, I think I like it the most because John McTiernan and I forget the name of the scriptwriter. I think he worked on it though. Were able to bring all these really large concepts of military strategy and politics and what was at stake and all these different characters. And it was just such a tightly done script. Every character did exactly what they needed to do to propel the story forward. And I like the fact that the bad guy and the good guy don't actually meet until the very end of the movie, even though they've been sort of going with each other's mindsets the entire film. There's just so much going on there. And the different characters that aren't directly involved with our protagonist, like the captain of the Dallas and Jonesy and these guys having their own little world that is invaded by Ryan. And then Ryan comes in and fucks everything up. And then they got to get back to center again. There's so much going on in the movie. I just love it. And it really taught me as a kid some things about looking at the bigger picture of the consequences of actions across nations, if that makes any sense. Of course, a lot of the Tom Clancy books did that really good as well. Just sort of, especially Sum of All Fears. If you read or listen to the audiobook, which is great, of Sum of All Fears, there's so much going on there, and I learned a lot about how to sort of think, sort of chessboard-like about national moves and the consequences that they could have on the stage, national stage. Anyway, I could go on for a while, and I already have. But anyway, Harvest Marvos, what was the best worst moments to close out the decade with?
Decade's not over yet. We've got a year to go, people.
Okay, well, as far as the show's concerned, best moment or most exciting moment, I should say, was Squeedus's birth.
Definitely.
I think that whole adventure, that night and into the next day, all of that, and the arrival of Squeedus was probably, at least for the show, probably the high point, I think, or the most exciting point of the year. I'd say that. Worst point, my internet problems.
No.
Okay, no objections. We'll continue. Let's see.
I agree with the first one, of course.
Oh, sure. But I mean, there's also Peanut. I mean, we weren't there for it or anything. I mean, there's a lot of Pumpkin was last year, but Peanut this year. Just so many new people into the world that we already love.
You think we should we like at the end of every year we should try to do like a Lords of the Night greatest hits, where it's like, here's the funniest moment, and this is the
if you want to page through every show we've done this year to find the best moments,
we can start it next year and just like have everybody like, look, it's the start of the year, to start documenting this shit, guys.
Yeah. Start clipping those things you think are good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Furry Kitten. Why did Hunt for Red October beat Failsafe? Okay, well, Failsafe's a completely different movie. Failsafe is a disaster movie after a fashion. And it's a completely different thing. I love Failsafe. I thought Failsafe was great. I wasn't that jazzed with the George Clooney remake they did live TV. I think the original's just fine. But movies like that, like Failsafe, By Dawn's Early Light, which is an HBO movie, The Day After, Threads. I always like the big like nuclear war disaster movies, or those that imply it. Those are always interesting to me because that was a big deal when I was younger. But yeah, it beats Failsafe because I saw Run for October long before I saw Failsafe. That's probably why. I got a copy of Failsafe around here somewhere, the book version anyway. Also, Alas Babylon. If you haven't read Alas Babylon, that's a pretty. Actually, if you read Alas Babylon, and you've seen the show Jericho, you might notice some similarities. I sound like a nerd, don't I?
Yeah, but you're not wrong about Alas Babylon.
Are you read? You read that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. That and that was. Let's see. Furry Kitten says, "How about On the Beach?" On the Beach is also a good one. I kind of like the more modern HBO version of On the Beach than the classic one, and I know that's probably put me on a low list. I don't know. There's something about the more modern setting of it that kind of clicks with me more than the 1950s. Maybe it's just a style thing. Plus, I mean, Armand Assante. You can't get past Armand Assante. Let's see. Some of All Fears is a fantastic book, says Jim Beam. Yep. Elva Caro says, worst song of 2019, all of them. Okay. Zio Gold, which do you find funnier, Sargon and Chank sumo wrestling or Ranting Monkey dressed as Mr. Furley from Three's Company?
Why would I be dressed as Mr. Furley?
Yeah. Shouldn't he be like
Money?
Jack?
For money. You know me too well.
No, but Monkey should be Jack Tripper for, well, obvious reasons.
You're suggesting I'm some kind of horny dude?
No, I'm suggesting that you fall down a lot.
He did do that. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That was
particularly painful nipples as well.
Yeah, well, probably. But yeah, no, being a horny dude and falling down a lot, yeah, you're Jack Tripper.
Fair enough.
Heck, you know what? I'll do that as a theme sometime. I'll take Three's Company, and of course, mine and Satsu's heads will be on the ladies, but I guess that's just unavoidable. Let's see. Furry Kitten says Last Babylon. No, it's Alas Babylon. ALAS, Alas Babylon. And if you want to read an even weirder sort of nuclear fallout apocalypse type book, find A Canticle for Leibowitz. It is a weird name, but you have to look A Canticle for Leibowitz. I won't give away. It's not a book for everyone. I think you can find a radio play version on YouTube if you look it up. But it's an interesting take on the whole post-apocalyptic genre.
Yeah, one of my favorite assignments we ever had in English class was writing the next chapter to Alas Babylon.
Oh, yeah, because the one thing I didn't like about that book, at least, well, I mean, maybe it's a stylistic thing, is that it kind of ended completely open. It was like,
Mhm.
okay, because obviously you don't really have an ending with a story like that because it's just going to go on. But the fact that it just sort of like stopped, it was like, and this is the world we live in now. It's like, okay. But yeah, that is an interesting writing assignment.
I felt weird about it because mine was the only one that didn't turn out well.
Mm.
Everybody else wrote them like getting rescued or building a decent society where they were.
Yeah.
And mine was just doom and gloom. They didn't all die or anything. It just, they were still there.
Yeah. It just sucks. Yeah. Ray Cancer says, just watch The Road. Oh, God. Yeah. If you want to get really depressed, watch The Road with, I suddenly forget his name, Viggo Mortensen. Great movie, but man, it's like watching a Requiem for a Dream. It's like you watch it once, you're kind of like, I never want to be that depressed again. Really, it is an experience. I mean, if you like Fallout or Stalker or Atom RPG or something, if you like the aesthetics of those kind of games, definitely watch The Road at least once. But yeah. Let's see. Furkin says, have been there and done that for Canticle for Leibowitz. Okay, well, you're one step ahead of the game. Devil Fruit Zero Scribelight, have you seen Trump being encased in peach carbonite on the latest cartoon, the channel Freedom Tunes? I haven't. That is funny, though. That is funny. Let's see. Furkin says, I ended up writing a version of Lord of the Flies crossed with Threads for leaving schools. Okay, Threads, man. Okay, you can find it free online now. It's like archive.com or something. But Threads is probably one of the most effective horror movies I have seen recently, and it's all just based on, as real as they could make it back in the 80s, an estimation of what would actually happen to the world in the result of a nuclear exchange, or at least the UK. And it is an absolute quiet horror movie. I can't say much more than that. It's not for even by today's standards, I'd say it is super, super effective as just like shocking the conscience as to what happens there.
See, the joke's on you because lots of parts of the UK wouldn't look different after.
Well, I mean, by the end of the story, it looks pretty medieval. I'll tell you that, but I won't give away too much.
I mean, it's pretty barbarous in a lot of places.
Sean Uli, Scribelight, even more morbid. Read The Road. It was horrible. I've heard people say the book actually sucks. It's boring or something. I don't know. I've never read the book, but the movie, oh man, movie's really effective. It's a really, really effective movie, but really a tough watch. It is really a tough watch. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribelight, did you guys ever play Kirby on the NES? I believe I did, at least the first one.
I used
Never
to
have.
playing that shit late at night when my mom grounded me and didn't know I had a fucking Game Boy hidden in my play the shit out of Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland, and all that shit. I used to play all those games.
I think I only played the first one that ever came out on NES, and I think I rented it. I don't think I ever owned it.
Never played.
Tailed?
No.
Okay. Gorbay Goes Camping. Scribelay, did you like No Remorse by Tom Clancy? I believe you mean Without Remorse by Tom Clancy. And yes, I really enjoyed that book because it's basically The Punisher. Without giving, I mean, I've already kind of given something away, but it deals with sort of the origin story of Mr. Clark, the character that often appeared in Tom Clancy's books as sort of like the secret agent guy, the guy who got stuff done. He was played by oh God, I suddenly forget his name when I shouldn't. In Clear and Present Danger, the movie with Harrison Ford, Mr. Clark is played by the same guy who played the Green Goblin in the Spider-Man movie. Dafoe, yeah, Willem Dafoe. And I didn't think that Willem Dafoe was the right choice for Clark. He did a really good job in the movie, but if like somebody had said ahead of time who should play Mr. Clark, I would have imagined someone like Thomas Jane. And I know that's too close of a Punisher reference, but really Mr. Clark Yeah, or someone, I don't know. Yeah, Willem Dafoe just seemed a bit too. The physicality wasn't quite right to me. But anyway, yeah. But Without Remorse is great. Let's see. Frank Hubbard the fourth. Do you think it's possible to find a rope bunny who isn't masochistic?
What now?
I think it's possible. A girl that likes to be tied down or tied up with bondage rope and stuff, who isn't masochistic, sure.
Yes, I know someone like that.
I think I have known people like that too. So yes, it is possible.
She just likes to be tied up.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's yeah.
Like she specifically like to be suspended by ropes.
Yes.
So somebody, wait. You guys asked this question as Weibo gets into chat. Is
sure.
Coincidence?
I noticed Weibo was there. Thank you, Tail. Someone finally noticed me. Hey, I noticed you were on earlier asking about professors and papers and things. No, I knew a couple of girls. They just like the feeling of if you use the rope bondage, they just like the feeling of being hugged and held in the restraint. They weren't looking for pain. They like the sensation of restraint or snugness. I don't have another way to explain it, but that's what they liked. But yeah, some I know of people who just like being suspended, that kind of thing. So sure, there are bunnies out there, rope bunnies that aren't into pain in that way. They might like pain a little bit, but not like a masochistic pain. Colonel Fire says, favorite Monty Python skit while topics still stuck in my head. While the topics well,
and then I just answered immediately in the chat because I didn't think you were going to read it out.
Oh, I was going to say, okay, the fire. Okay, I was going to say the dead parrot sketch. It's always pretty good.
The argument clinic's probably my favorite one.
Oh yeah, God, there were so many good things. Original Shroom. Why are the Democrats still withholding transcripts from the Republicans? Because they can, I assume. I don't know. Sean Uli says, remember, Mr. Clark told Holtzman that he should be played by Nick Cage in Sum of All Fears. Did he? Did I miss something? I haven't read Sum of All Fears in a long time. So was that a line in Sum of All Fears? And Sum of All Fears, the movie, was garbage, absolute garbage. They completely ruined that story. In fact, Sum of All Fears, if they were going to do it right, it could be like a series on Netflix or something, because that story is way too epic in scope to handle in one movie. So much going on there. Harvest Marvel's Ranting Monkey, did you get the retweet from a woman? It should be 16 to vote, but then in the same tweet says the human brain doesn't fully form until 25.
I see that here. I came across like 2 minutes ago. It should be what? It says it should be 16 to vote, 16 to drink, 21 to gamble, 21 to buy cigarettes, 25 to serve in the military, 30 to buy firearms. Then it goes on to say the human brain doesn't fully form until 25, and risk taking is higher for younger folks. Criminality rapidly diminishes once people hit 30.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so Weibo needs attention.
She always does.
Weibo, you are so beautiful to your boyfriend and lots of other people online. So is that the kind of attention you're looking for? I don't know. Ebony Williams, angel food or devil's food? Well, obviously devil's food for me because chocolate and mint. Right, Monkey?
Yuck.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have a preference of angel's food or devil food cake?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
One is
Angels.
white, one is black.
Yeah.
Yeah. One is racist, the other isn't. You choose.
Damn.
I know, right? That's your only these days. That's your only option. Do you have any other talking requests, Tail, before we close out?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, we'll have to do that again sometime, or maybe you'll just have to do a live stream.
I know. There's a novel idea.
I know.
Actually use my YouTube channel.
I know, dude. And maybe someday I'll be on at the same time you are.
Yeah.
Because
That was also yeah, I think that's one of the signs of the apocalypse, isn't it?
I know when the stars align, Cthulhu will rise from his house in R'lyeh. Anyway, guys, by the time I finish this, will be at the top of the hour, unless the end of the show. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As you guys always do, you guys really are the best audience in the world. Thank you so much for all your generosity. Thank you for making Tailed say things. That was entertaining as hell.
Thank you for paying me to say things.
Yeah, that too.
Should do that more often.
Let's see, and thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things. If I can talk here, even though our chat is the most well behaved in the entirety of the internet, except for Mata, I think it was, who said it was a B movie. Hunt for Red October is not a B movie, so.
And someone said it wasn't the best, but it was good.
Yes, they made you say that. I think it was Scribe Light. Yeah. Anyway,
Scribe
guys.
Dark.
Scribe. No, non-author Dark is my alter ego. I have that second channel. Have you ever seen that second channel?
No, because I'm sure you told me what it was about, and I went,
Yeah, it could conceivably be said that it deals with rope bunnies. So, after a fashion. Anyway, remember, guys, over on 2 cents plus after this, Monkey and Satsu will be playing Desolate, a survival horror game or something. I don't know much about it. And remember, per usual, over on Monkey's channel tomorrow night at the usual time for Lords of the Night. And Prospero reminds, if you would like the sort of unofficial or quasi-official after show for Lords of the Night, go check out Minions of the Zoo. It's one channel with a rotating zookeeper, so go check that out. And
I might be on that if I stay awake.
Oh, well, if Tail's awake, maybe he'll be on Minions of the Zoo. He'll be one of the animals in a cage, I guess, which is called Scotland. Kind of. Idealistically, at least, or ideologically. And remember, if you haven't already checked out Tailed Features channel, go check out his channel. Be sure to follow him on Twitter, because he may be having a brand new channel soon with different kind of content. I'll keep an eye on that. And I think that's all the plugs I can think of. Have I missed anything?
Nope. Sounds like you got it all to me.
You're good.
Tailed.
Yep, all good.
All right. Well, then, everybody. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey did, apparently. Okay.
I was swallowing. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Tailed, thank you for joining us. It was a nice surprise to have you on tonight.
No, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Good. And everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Hej Hiva.
Satsu,
What?
you gonna say goodbye?
I did at the same time Monkey did.
Oh, well, it was blotted out by Monkey.
I just said it louder.
We were in sync, yo.
Let's not be. So anyway, per usual, I'll read. I'll get my copy of "Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns: The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism."
Sadomasochism.
Woo!
That was not breaking tradition, guy. You're like Trump breaking tradition. And find the random word, and today's secret word is
Poop.
no, it's punish. Oddly enough, no, it's not poop. I'm not a Munchausen by proxy mother, and neither are you.